Okay, so one of the topics I want to talk about was Lordstown Motors. That one that one and that one's just a lot of people are interested in it, and it's just such an unusual stock because you know all the chips line up for them. The stars align. They have the right administration.
Mm-hmm.
They got this big power plant. They just got some money from a hedge fund. The not a power plant. They have a plant that manufactures cars that was gifted to
Mm-hmm.
them. I can't remember off the top of my head, but it's worth billions of dollars. They're going to produce trucks. They're making electric trucks with a new technology. They are like if they were making gas powered trucks, I would say, oh well, okay, there's no future in that. But they're making electric
Mm-hmm.
trucks, so it just seems like a perfect venture. It's
For
not like
today.
well, yeah, I mean, the problem is that they're just facing so much hardship, it seems. And it's all trivial stuff, but like if you break down each negative thing, it's not so bad. But what happens is it seems that there's so many investors that they get spooked that they want to get their money
Mm-hmm.
out before it drops down too low, and now the prices it just still seems like a good deal, like a good stock. It's
Mm-hmm.
just there was there in the beginning along. I don't know if you remember I know you don't follow this at all, but when we had done
Mm-mm.
a video on Lordstown Motors before, you and I, there is this group called they're like short sellers. They put out a report, and then the stock price tanked as a result because they didn't have these pre-orders or whatever. So anyways, that was the start of their decline. And
Mm-hmm.
last time we did um a a session on this, we did it with the CEO. I think his name was Steve Burns, or something like
Mm-hmm.
that. And now he's gone. So we did all this
Yeah.
predictions based on his deep mind probe, but now he's gone. He had to resign with the CFO. Now there's new people in charge. And
Who's in charge now?
well, that's a good question. So honestly, I'm not too educated on this now. So
Let me look.
that intentionally because here we go, Lordstown
Do you
Motors.
know why he left, that Burns guy?
There is a lot of, yeah, well, they didn't make it obvious. I'm sure some people know, but since him and the CFO resigned, it looked like they were just under investigation from the SEC, and they had this problem, that problem. They ran out of money. It just looked like they had to resign, maybe for image, or maybe you know, they didn't,
Well, let's ask
no,
him.
they didn't run. Steve Burns. Okay,
Yeah.
sure. Okay.
Okay, let me pull him in here.
You have
Because
a
the
picture?
fact that he's resigned also, he's a businessman. Maybe he has a lot of information that, we don't have. And
Okay.
maybe he can see, some other problem. In fact, I'm getting that very strongly. That he can see some other problems that are coming down the pike that, the average investor can't see because it's, sort of hush hush information. Also, because he's been in the business a long time. So I've got him here. Why did you resign? It was no good for me. Why wasn't it any good for me? My reputation. Okay, so it was destroying your reputation. Yes, badly. And were you feeling the heat? He was feeling the heat from a lot of people. A lot of people had invested in Lordstown Motors because of him being the CEO. And like you said, like he's telling me now, nothing was going right. Everything was going against them. And he just thought it was better to leave. You know, are
Does
you
he,
doing anything else at the moment? No, I don't feel he's doing anything else at the moment.
would he, does he know any information that would prevent an investor from jumping into the stock now? Like, does he see on the horizon any hardships with Lordstown Motor from the perspective of when he was in?
Yes, many hardships. He said it's a product that nobody wants. It's a product that the masses don't want to adopt. They like their gas powered vehicles. That's what he's telling me. He's like, you can't change the mindset of America. It's very difficult. The running costs of the vehicle is very expensive. He's saying that by comparison, okay, let me ask him this. By comparison, which is more efficient to run, a fuel vehicle or an electric vehicle? He's saying a fuel vehicle. See, even he knows by comparison, running a fuel vehicle is much better. Now,
So what about, yeah, go ahead.
no, you go ahead.
What about any kind of government contracts or something like that that could save the day, where, you know, they scoop up a bunch of trucks for military purposes, let's just say.
Yeah,
And
they
you know,
do have government contracts on the horizon, but it's not enough to save the company. As in, it's not the numbers that they projected. Will the military use battery powered trucks? No, he's telling me no. It's not going to be. I don't feel it's going to be the military. Okay. I feel, is it going to be the post office? It could be the post office. It could be, it's a government contract, but I don't see it being the military. Let me move him forward and let's see if we can
well,
look into the
well,
future
he's not the
time.
current CEO, so if we move forward in time, you wouldn't know. But
Well, hold on. Are you still involved with Lordstown Motors? No, not at all. So you have nothing to do with the board. You don't know what's going on. No, he doesn't. You're right. So, who is the current CEO?
okay,
He just shouted at me, flogging a dead horse.
oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
he thinks it's a dead, so it's not savable. It's not savable, the company.
No, I don't. Do you believe Lordstown Motors is salvageable? No.
Okay,
He doesn't. He gives it 5 years at the very most.
I'm trying to, sorry for the pause.
I don't know if they
who the
have
CEO
a
is.
current CEO because
Well,
there's nothing
here's a guy
on
named
here.
Rich Schmidt, who's the president of Lordstown Motors, will continue to see all day-to-day operations, promoted to president.
I don't even think they're, from what I'm feeling right now, is they're not even going to have another CEO because I don't think they can afford to pay one.
No, they have it, and they just got a bunch of money from okay, I'm gonna send
Rich
you.
Schmidt, is that who you've got?
I'm pulling up Rich Schmidt. Yeah, he's the president, or he's somebody, whatever he is, he's involved. So even if we don't get the correct CEO now, he's apparently overseeing operations. So I'm sure whatever we get from him will be identical to another person. I just sent you the name. Do you want to search it? I pulled up his image too. I'll send you the image. Hang on.
We're losing you, Craig. We're losing you. Craig, can you hear me? We're losing you.
Okay, I can hear you. Can you hear me? Okay, so we got I just unpaused it, but
oh, okay, that's him. All right, Rich Schmidt. He's the president of Lordstown Motors, and he is taking control, right?
Perhaps. I think there might even be another CEO at this point, but that guy would oversee the operation, so we might as well ask him. You know what I
There's
mean?
not another CEO.
No?
Let me ask him.
I do remember a CEO
Schmidt,
or
are you
someone
there?
being replaced.
I'm here. I think they may have like a temporary person. Do you have a temporary CEO? Yeah, they have a stand-in at the moment. Is it somebody that was already within the company? Yes. But do they want to be the permanent CEO? No, they don't. So they do have a stand-in at the moment, but it's not a permanent fixture. So
It's
I
okay.
mean, they might as well not even be the CEO.
But we can ask Schmidt questions related to it for future timeline stuff anyway. So
Yeah. Okay. So
okay,
you want me to move what? How far in the future?
let's go. Let's go January 2022.
January 2022. Is Lordstown Motors a success? It's getting there, he says. But have you secured any contracts? No.
Have they started producing trucks by that point? I think they're supposed to schedule for
Started
September.
producing trucks by that point. No. No.
What's the stock price of it? I know we don't have accuracy when it comes to that, but what's the stock price at that time in January 2022?
Well, what's today's price? Let's just ask him if it's higher or lower. What's today's price?
Oh, it's the lowest it's been. It's like $6.50. It's really hurting.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me ask him, is the stock price, let me probe, is the stock price higher than $6 in January 2022? It's about the same. It's about
Wow.
the same.
Wow. So they never really recover then.
They really need the government contracts. I mean, they're struggling. Maybe trucks isn't the way to go. Let me ask him, do you believe trucks are the way to go? Yes, we do. Do you believe that you will build this eventually? It's all up in the air at the moment. I'll give a little insider info here. Because as you know, I work in research and I have done for 11 years. And we have massive studies that I have worked on for 11 years, really just high, profile studies. And of course, I get the phone call 2 weeks ago that our funding's been pulled for these long-term medical research studies. Okay. And when I inquired, I said, why was the funding pulled? Well, because the current administration wants to focus on environmental research studies. So to me, with everything aligned at the moment with, the current administration, they're very gung-ho environment, you would think that Lordstown Motors stood a chance. But when we're probing into January 2022, it's not looking good.
So they did just secure money, I think, from a hedge fund. And I'm just really regurgitating this. I don't know the details, but it looks like a $400 million.
Well, let's ask.
Yeah, from a
Okay.
hedge fund.
Well, let's ask. Did you just secure?
Wait, or did you move back in time to now?
Yeah, I was just doing that. I was like, okay, I need to put you back in my little time machine and move you back to present day.
Yeah. It's funny.
Beam me up, Scotty, right?
Yeah.
If anybody knows what that means anymore. So, okay, did you just secure $400 million? Okay, see, he's already telling me the flaw with the question on that one. So that question is flawed. Did Lordstown Motors secure $400 million from a hedge fund? It's in holding. It's being held at the moment. They're not spending it at the moment. It's there, but it's is it earmarked? Yes, it's earmarked.
Okay. And what about
It's
like
a tricky one,
the power, to me, the plant itself that manufactures the cars were why it got my attention, because it's worth billions of dollars. So I just figured, at the end of the day, a big car company will come in and buy it all up, buy Lordstown Motors, for the plant. You know what I mean? Like even Tesla, let's just say. I mean, I know I'm using my imagination here, but maybe they want to expand and they want to have a big plant to produce all of their trucks, or Ford can buy them up. So that was my logic, thinking, well, they're not just kind of a speculative electric company. They have this plant this land, this real estate that's worth billions of dollars. So, um,
Yeah, but it's no good if you don't have any contracts to produce anything.
but what about another?
I guess you can sell it, but then selling it, at some point, if you sell off, he's telling me you've got to reimburse your investors. You have to pay people out. So,
Well, no, my logic was another car company like Ford would buy up Lordstown Motors. You know what I mean? That was the logic, that they would just buy up. Um, but I don't know too much about this stuff. I'm speculating. And then
and
what
we're not
about?
financial advisors. I mean, this is just for psychic entertainment only.
Yeah, I know. So what about I there's some sort of SEC investigation where Stephen Bird said that there's pre-orders, but the pre-orders were there, but they weren't secure. Like people can back out at any time. So I think
Well,
that was
that's
uh,
sorry, that's the best they could do in order to just get those orders. You
yeah,
know what
yeah,
I mean?
but I think by saying that they had pre-orders, the investors were misled, and then the SEC had to
Oh,
step in. So that's why it was the beginning of the end for Burns. So I'm just curious on how that pans out. To me, it just sounds like it would be an annoying like fine they would have to pay, but it seemed to really hurt the share price. So
they're still being investigated.
okay, is it just for that pre-order statement, or is it
Just
for
for the
other things?
pre-order statement. No, it's for other stuff.
Are they looking into that $400 million from the hedge fund?
$400 million in the hedge fund. Yes. Yes, that's why they can't spend it.
Okay, so all right. I mean, I don't really know enough to ask any more questions. It just
Well,
sounds like a mess, you know?
it
Just
is
sounds
a
like a
mess.
mess.
I mean, the only other thing we could do is move like 5 years ahead and see if, they're still in business.
All right, you want to do a couple of time jumps? You want to try like 1 year ahead?
Yeah, let's do that. So 1 year ahead from today, which is July 30th, 2021, it'll be July 30th, 2022. Okay. And has Lordstown Motors been successful? No,
What's the
no.
share price?
Is the share price above or below $6? It's a little higher.
Are we in the 12s?
Are you in the 12? No, I feel like it's sitting just below that.
Okay. And is anyone buying trucks? I mean, do they have a customer base or a government contract or something that's paying the bills?
Do you have a government contract? Yes. I feel like the government is also going to subsidize them somehow, a little bit.
All right, should
Are
we
you
move
being
up like
subsidized by the government? Yeah, I really feel that very strongly. Somehow the government's going to try and bail them out a little bit. Not much, but a little bit.
what about moving up like 2 years and seeing where their customer base, like where's the money coming from? That's the big question. Is it primarily from customers or is it primarily from the government?
Okay, let's see. We're moving July 30th, 2023. Where's the money coming from? Customers. Okay, so you are getting customers now, a trickle. So 2023, they're getting a trickle of customers in. Is Biden still president? No.
Is Kamala Harris president?
Is Kamala Harris president? She took over.
Okay, we'll see how that plays out.
Yeah,
Um,
really.
I mean, that's
Woo!
interesting. All right,
It
what about?
is. Is Queen Elizabeth still alive? No, I'm teasing.
Oh, okay.
Um,
I don't know.
no, just joking. But no, I mean, they're struggling. They're struggling. This is going to take, they just can't promote this on their own. I feel this very strongly about Lordstown Motors. They're going to have government endorsement, and I'll be honest with you. I mean, I don't know if the technology has evolved, but I even had a colleague that bought one of those battery powered cars. They're liberal. They like to, they're environmental people. I mean, we all work in research together. And on a cold day, when it was like -5 degrees, which it can get, right? The car broke down and they were stranded on the side of the road, and the battery could not hold any power because it was so cold. So she could not even get to work for like that whole week because it was a cold snap. So, this is in the forefront of motor enthusiast mind. Like somebody like me, I would never think of that. But for somebody, that is really into vehicles, well, a lot of guys are, they know that stuff. And, down here in the South where I live, they're not about to give in their big gas powered truck,
Yeah.
for an electric vehicle. I mean, they're just not going to do it.
What about
It's not
what?
reliable.
No, it makes sense to not be like the first wave of customers, because then
Mm-hmm.
you're kind of taking a risk. And plus, it's not really an electric engine. It's something with the wheels that like it has no moving parts. It's a technology where the wheels propel it forward. I don't understand it. It's like a hubcap engine or something. But
Listen,
uh
I completely agree with, you know, I can't stand air pollution. I hate it. And out where
yeah,
I live, we don't have it. But, I understand the concept, but I think the problem is also you're trying to get, you know, listen, somebody who drives a truck knows their vehicles. Okay. They're
right.
not just going to buy a little purple people eater just to get from A to B, to get to the grocery store. People that have trucks buy trucks for a reason, and they know their vehicles. They know that in order to, power these batteries, you have to burn coal.
Yeah.
That's
Um,
the problem. You're
you want
you're
to
not
do
selling it.
you want to do one more time movement and then wrap up this video and we'll go to the next one?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so we did 2 years out. Should we just go and jump up to 5 years out? Just see what
Why
it's.
not? So 2026, July
Yeah.
30th, 2026. Okay, this Schmidt guy isn't even with Lordstown Motors then.
Is
Is
Lordstown
Lordstown
Motors,
Motors still in existence? No.
did it get bought out?
It got taken over.
Oh, well, that could be a good thing. Got taken over by who?
Who
Oh, we
took it
don't.
over? Any of the big car companies? Yes, two of them. They combined, they joined forces.
And did that drive up the share price for the investors?
No, it made it plummet.
It made it plummet.
Are they dissolving the company? Yes. I feel like they're dissolving it.
Did GM suffer because of their? I believe that they invested heavily in Lordstown Motors, or is GM one of the people that took over?
I feel very strongly it's a lot to do with GM. Did they take over? Yeah, I feel like they're liquidating the company.
What was the? Okay, okay.
We can always come back and revisit this again.
It
People
seems.
ask the question, do timelines change? No, I don't feel that they change, but I do feel that they can be delayed. So we can always come back and revisit this. But going into the theories of depopulation,
Oh yeah, let's
if
do
those
that.
theories are correct, then you don't need electric vehicles. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah, it's true. All right, let me stop it here and let's do the doom and gloom video from the other.
oh, good.
All right, cool.
Doom and gloom.